So instead of doing DVDs this week, I want to do something different because I don't want my channel to be a strictly DVD channel because that's just not what I want. I'm going to cover Thomas things that confuse me, or subjects of Thomas that confuse me, and items of Thomas that confuse me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. This is going to be a very nitpicky video. Okay, so here is the first things I'm going to be talking about. First off is the Season 1 and Season 2 re-releases using Season 3 promos on the back. On the back, yep, and the front. Why does this need to happen? Like, the Ghost Train re-release featured a Season 2 promo. I mean, it wasn't from the right episode, but it still featured a promo from Season 2. The Runaway and Other Stories, if you didn't know, is a re-release of Percy and Harold. I think. Yes, it is. And it uses a promo from, No Drink for James, maybe? Or something like that. Why does it use a Season 3 promo? What's stopping them from using a promo from The Runaway? Or keep the actual Percy and Harold theme and change it to Percy and Harold and Other Stories and have a picture of Percy and Harold? Like, why? Okay? Next up is this DVD having the wrong titles. Now, I'm not sure if this is because when this was being manufactured, they didn't have official titles for some episodes. But if you look here, Jack Goes to Work. Okay, that's meant to be Jack Jumps In. Okay, Trouble for Thomas is meant to be It's Only Snow, if I'm not mistaken. What else is there? Bill and Ben's Excellent Adventure. That's meant to be Buffer Bother. Thomas and the Jet Engine. That's the US title. And yeah, that's pretty much it, but how can you mess this up? I'm guessing what I said was true. They either made a mistake, or this was manufactured before they had official titles. This is why. I don't think this happens on any other release, but why? And another problem with season DVDs is almost every Season 5 release and the video which is like every Thomas story, they always get it wrong, okay? Snow comes after Rusty and the Boulder. Rusty and the Boulder is not the last episode of Season 5. Snow is. These should be switched around. I think that's the only mistake I can see on here. There probably is another one, but I can't see it, but Snow and Rusty and the Boulder should be switched around, okay? That's the correct order. Change it. Well, there's no point in changing it. Even the 2012 re-release has this problem on the DVD menu. Like, how did they do this on purpose, or did they just forget? I don't know. Another problem is the US and the UK having different poster art for films. Now, this isn't the United States release, this is the Canadian release, but it's the same poster art as the US one. Why does the UK and the US have different poster arts for this, Calling All Engines, and The Great Discovery? What's the point of having different poster art? Like, I prefer this one. I prefer this one a lot more than this, but couldn't the UK have this one, or the US have this one? Why do they have to be different? Same goes for Calling All Engines and The Great Discovery, even though I prefer the US cover art for all of the first 3 Thomas films. Because the UK just isn't that good at making poster art. Like, this is okay, but this just looks so much nicer. Like, it looks so much more official, if that makes sense. This just looks like something you can make in Photoshop. Like, he's not even. What's he looking at? Looking at the back of Mr. Conductor's head, yeah? Alright, cool. Oh dear. Right, what's the next thing? Now, the next thing is something that my US viewers, if there is any, that are going to relate to. I don't live in the US, but the United States has only gotten 2 season DVDs. They've gotten Season 1, which was the early years, and they had kind of Season 12 in the Adventure Pack, which came with 4 Season 12 DVDs. That's the only season DVD the US has had. The UK at the moment has had 20 season DVDs and is getting Season 21 next year. So it just confuses me why the US doesn't get season DVDs. It's not like it's hard for them to do, but for a couple of years the US didn't actually have Thomas DVDs. for, I don't know what reason, Mattel just didn't make Thomas DVDs. They're coming back, I think, in 2020 or late 2019. But yeah, it's just confusing why they didn't have season DVDs in the US. Oh well, at least they have season 1 and season 12. But yeah, that's just something that's always just bewildered me. And finally, we have the reason why I made this video in the first place. Unnecessary title changes for mainly season 1 and 2, but also from season 3 to 7. Now, I get it. For season 1 and a lot of titles from that episodes, it's necessary. Like, Troubles and Trucks was changed to Foolish Freight Cars. That makes sense. But episodes like Thomas and Gordon, Edward and Gordon, The Sad Story of Henry, are changed to like Thomas Gets Tricked, Come Out Henry, and Henry to the Rescue. Why? Is there a reason for you to do that? Like, do you have a valid reason other than just being annoying? Hey, it's just confusing. And don't get me started on Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure. I'm not even going to get started on that because it deserves a whole video on its own. It's just so confusing. It doesn't aggravate me. It's just really confusing why they would do it to some episodes. It's just bewildering to me. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's like, why? Just why would... whatever. It makes no sense. Why? Just... Now, I know there's going to be some sort of US fanboy going, but maybe it's the UK that's doing all this wrong. Maybe the UK should change their titles. No, that's not true, because Season 1 came out in the UK before it came out in the US. And I don't know if Season 2 came out before the US did. Wait, did Season... I don't know. Season 2 may have come out in the US the same time as it did in the UK, but there's no excuse for Season 1 because it came out in the US almost 2 years after the UK, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know the UK had Season 1 first. So, yeah, the US just, alright, whatever. And yeah, that's basically what I have to say. There's probably a lot more that I can't remember, but that's basically what I can remember at the moment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week will most likely be a Thomas DVD review. If not, then it'll be the week after, but my next video will definitely be a Thomas DVD review, so yeah. Look out for that, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Peace.